Pit stop for pork rolls.
Rolls the best thing ever come out of Vietnam, you ask me.
Hey!
Oh, Dad, it was me.
Well, you ought to know better. I'll have 3.
G'day.
Dad, any meat pies left?
Sorry, all gone. Hey, what time you be home?
Don't know. Ask the coach.
More Aussie than Australians.
Yeah, that's fine. Look, the game should be finished by 9, so he'll be home about 11.
All right.
And Ian Hammond wants 3.
Yeah. Always does. Only good thing to come of Vietnam.
Really? Everyone grab one of these.
Beauty.
Sick.
I would really like to be going home, Mehmet.
As would we all, Ben. You're claiming your symptoms have abated?
From all possible orifices, yes.
Okay. Well, keep up your fluids and stay away from solids for about 24 hours.
Believe me, I've never been less hungry in my life.
Dad, Alex. Mum rang. She reckons you and the team are dying or something.
You call your mother about this.
Oh, nurse wanted a number.
Look, leave Mum out of it. Are you dying or not?
This feels like it.
And the rest of the team?
Yes, all of us except Johnny Tran.
Oh.
Johnny! Are you all right, Johnny? Yeah, of course I am. Look, you guys better get out of here.
He had the good sense to have a meat pie instead of one of your pork rolls.
Hey, there's absolutely nothing wrong with our food.
I'm going to sue the health inspector on them.
Now, Ian...
Don't now, Ian, me.
Dad.
This so-called bloody pit stop was your idea. I'm holding you personally responsible.
I agree. The Trans are decent folk. Hard-working, good family people. I see them at Mass all the time. I like them personally.
But?
Ian Hammond is also a decent bloke.
Yeah, when he's not out burning crosses and wearing a white hat.
He's a touch on the Conservative side, yes. Look, all I'm trying to say is that the selection panel for the sergeant's position is coming up soon.
I'm missing something here.
Well, Ian Hammond and Inspector Falcon Price have been known to, ride the same goat, might we say?
They're Masons.
All I'm saying is, until you get those hooks, don't get into the middle of anything that isn't police business.
And if Ian does take direct action?
Well, if he becomes a vigilante, then arrest him. In the meantime, no sticking your bib in.
Beth Harris, Health Inspector's here for you, Ben.
Ben, we do the crime, Beth does the salmonella.
Thanks for coming in, Beth. Take a seat.
When I heard you were going to do my job for me, how could I resist?
Oh, come on. It's not like that.
I'll take your word for it.
So do we know what it was yet?
Dr. Gulmers thinks it's salmonella. You'll be pleased to know I intend to throw the book at them. Does not matter what I say, they will not keep their ingredients cold enough.
Listen, I've been thinking about it overnight. It wasn't necessarily the pork rolls.
Oh, what else?
Well, we had a sausage sizzle at the team meeting before we left to go down to Melbourne.
So?
So it could have just as easily been the sausages.
I don't think so.
Why not? Food poisoning can occur up to 72 hours after eating contaminated food.
You've been reading up on your subject.
Well, have you tested sausages from that same batch? Have you tested pork rolls from that same batch? Are they contaminated?
Unfortunately, in this case, the evidence was eaten by you and Ian and the team.
The whole batch?
Mm-hmm. But there's certain to be something there in the shop that I can nail them on.
We coppers are taught evidence first, conclusion second.
Now, I've got a gut instinct, pardon my French, about those little people, and I'm never wrong.
You inspected us this morning.
Yes, I did.
Nothing has changed.
What's changed is I've spoken to Dr. Gulmers at the hospital.
Who seems to think that it may have been salmonella.
We are keeping it at temperature you suggested.
You're in our country now, and it's a requirement. Under law.
Is that why you're here?
No, Mrs. Tran.
Perhaps you'd like to explain to Mr. Tran why you are here.
In the public interest.
Which is why I'm going to have to seize for testing any ingredients used to make yesterday's pork rolls.
Did you hear that one?
Yeah, I heard.
What cave does she live in?
We go through to Mount Thomas 258.
258 receiving.
Can you please attend at Mount Thomas Hospital in relation to the report of an assault?
Who hit you, Johnny?
I never saw them before.
The guy who brought you in said there were 2 of them.
Well, they're cowards ganging up on you like that. You don't owe them a single thing. Now, were they kids from the high school?
I couldn't see them, not with their beanies on.
And were they attacking you, do you think, because of the food poisoning?
No way.
Was it racial harassment then?
Hey, I never get any of that.
And I'm the Queen of England.
Only from idiots. I'm as Aussie as they are. Who was it that got sick? Not me. They're the ones all chundering.
Look, Ian Hammond says that was because you didn't have a pork roll, you had a meat pie instead.
I'm an Aussie, and Aussies eat meat pies, right? Like at the sausage sizzle, I had chops. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi.
Come on, mate. We'll take you home.
Who do you think you are making everybody sick?
You've got no reason to do this.
You're all right here. I've got every right. Me and my son and the rest of the team got sick because of you.
All right, what is going on here?
Look, Jesse, there's times you've got to stick up for yourself.
Things are bad enough without you getting arrested.
It's not me that's going to get arrested.
Ian, enough, okay? The trans have got every right to conduct their business.
Even if everyone gets food poisoning.
Look, I've told you before, that is a matter for the authorities. Now, would you move on, please? You're breaching the peace.
What, me? Breaching the peace?
Yes, that's exactly what you are doing now, so would you move on?
This isn't the end of it.
He'd organised the parents of all the kids from the basketball team.
I take it he's got the message now.
Oh, he's not acting like it.
Oh, despair. Ian is basically a good bloke. I happen to know the business isn't exactly booming. His wife's walked out on him. He's battling.
Yeah, but so are the trans.
Yes, they're good people too. Francis turns up at every Anzac Day, standing right there alongside Ian and me.
Mr. Tran goes to Anzac Day.
He was in the ARVN. The Army of the Republic of Vietnam.
He was Viet Cong.
No, he was helping us to fight the Viet Cong. God, Parish, don't make me feel any more of a dinosaur than I already do.
Look, there's no proof that the pork rolls made us sick. It could have been the sausages that we'd had earlier.
In which case it's up to Beth Harris to investigate.
But she won't.
How many ways do I have to say it, Acting Sergeant? We've done our job. Leave it alone.
I won't tell the boss if you don't.
Coming to arrest me, have you? Breaching the peace on my own premises now, am I?
Ian, you know how we had that sausage sizzle with the team?
You're not trying to blame it on the sausages. No way. And they're made here on the premises. I eat them myself most mornings for breakfast.
And I enjoy them myself, but, you know, any food can go off a bit.
Well, health inspectors through here on a regular basis. I keep the place that sterile in there, you could do brain surgery.
Keep that in mind.
You find this amusing, do you, girlie?
Make that constable girlie, please. And no, not really, Mr. Hammond.
Ian, just to put our minds at rest, if we could have some of that same batch of sausages to show to the health inspector.
No, for the simple reason they're all gone. All sold, all eaten, no complaints, no mass outbreaks of food poisoning. The sausage is innocent, Your Honour.
Find this amusing, sir?
I serve on some committees with Inspector Falcon Price. You might find that amusing.
Thanks for your time, Ian. Let's go, Constable.
Here you go, 6 lovely lunches, and for your information, the meat comes from exactly the same place as the Tran family gets theirs. Hammond's.
You really had to say that, didn't you, Chris?
Ian runs a clean business, and any contamination would have happened in the handling.
Which is the point at issue, yeah.
Mount Thomas 258 receiving.
Further disturbance reported at the Trans Bakery.
On our way.
Hi. I own the premises next door. They're blocking the traffic, stopping people from getting into my shop.
Okay, understood.
We're having an eat-in. I'm proving to everyone that there's nothing wrong with the food here.
Dad's gonna kill you.
Yeah, how's he gonna do that? By feeding me more sausages?
Oh, stop it, Jess. Don't want my sister poisoned, okay?
Get lost.
Hey, you two, cut it out. Oi.
Delicious. This will be my second.
So you're going to move them on or not?
Well, there's really no law against standing on it.
Actually, I don't mind if I do. I haven't eaten since yesterday, so cheers.
What?
Jesse. Jesse?
Look, get away from my sister. Get away from her.
Break it up. That's enough.
Enough. I'll say it's enough. They poisoned me, now they poison my sister.
Wrong. Jesse, you all right?
It's not food poisoning.
But the symptoms.
The symptoms originally suggested salmonella, like yesterday's outbreak, but it's not.
But doctor, we saw her. I mean, it looked the same.
There's traces of something in the stomach contents. I'm not sure what yet.
So she doesn't have food poisoning, but she was poisoned.
So you're suggesting that it was deliberate contamination?
Well, it looks pretty sus to me. Out of all the people there, Jesse Hammond was the only one who gets sick. And now it looks as though it's not salmonella.
So who gave Jessie the pork roll that she ate?
Well, I saw Johnny Tran give her one, but she did say that that was her second.
So maybe Johnny Tran gave her the contaminated one to get back at her father.
Oh, I can't see that.
Does Jessie have any enemies that we know of?
Well, all we can do is ask her.
I think perhaps someone else.
Boss, look, I know most of the people involved. I can do it without making waves.
All right.
No, this has just got to be some stupid mistake.
Well, you were there supporting the Trans.
I wanted them to know that I don't share my father's views.
Well, that can't go down very well with your dad.
He wouldn't poison me. Look, my dad might threaten to lock me in my room or to ground me, but he would never hurt me.
Your brother Alex, there seems to be a bit of friction between the two of you.
Alex can be a redneck hoon, okay? But it's like with Dad. He wouldn't hurt me.
Hi. Oh, just visiting, are we, Johnny?
Nah, delivering. We got a phone call from a regular customer. Tired of the slop they called food in here.
So you haven't had any more trouble from Ian Hammond?
Hammond goes mental. You know what I mean. Then it's over with. It's not the first time. Won't be the last.
Johnny, do you remember when the first time was?
When we got the shop. He bid against Dad at the auction. When he got beat, it was like the end of the world happened. Well, see you training out there.
Yeah, sure, mate. So Ian Hammond was outbid when the Trans bought their shop?
Ben.
Tell me you had a word with him.
This is called not making waves, is it?
We thought we'd let you know that your daughter is doing fine.
That's part of your duties, is it? Acting sergeant.
Well, Ian, since you yourself hadn't visited...
She's siding with them, all right? The Salmonella Kings. Well, if that's her attitude, she can cop whatever comes to her.
She's your daughter, Mr. Hammond.
You have a teenage daughter. Didn't think so. If you did, you'd know it's like living with a werewolf. Look, it's just a bit of food poisoning.
No, it's not. It's not salmonella, it's food contamination. And we haven't ruled out yet that it may have been deliberate on someone's part.
Are you saying someone poisoned my daughter?
Mount Thomas 258.
On purpose?
Mount Thomas 258, portable to VKC.
Proceed to Mount Thomas Hospital. See Dr. Gomez.
On our way.
Right.
Well, while you're at it, try catching the poisoner, why don't you?
There were traces in Jesse Hammond's system of both an emetic and a laxative.
An emetic would make her throw up and a laxative would give her the runs.
Precisely. Mimicking some of the effects of food poisoning.
There's no chance that she could have taken them for weight reduction?
Well, you've seen her. She's a perfectly healthy young woman. No signs of bulimia, anorexia, eating disorders whatsoever.
But somehow or other she's taken both an emetic and a laxative.
An emetic, that's what you give kids if they've swallowed poison or something, right?
Exactly. It's available without prescription at any pharmacy.
Yes, same as a laxative.
So someone presumably uses this stuff to lace one pork roll out of a whole batch, and either it was aimed at Jessie...
Well, they didn't care who got it as long as somebody did.
Apparently Ian Hammond was the underbidder when the Trans bought that shop at auction. Getting it might have been a vital part of his business plan.
So he poisoned his own daughter?
Well, contaminated one pork roll to cause trouble for the Trans and force them out of business. Jesse Hammond getting it would have just been a coincidence.
But how would he have done it? I mean, he's not Mr. Popular with the Trans. I mean, they wouldn't let him in the kitchen.
He supplies their pork.
It's a long shot. I still think we should be looking at the Trans themselves.
But why would they do it? They would just be causing trouble for their own business.
If this was deliberate, I think it's time that CI took a look.
Oh, boss, look, I've been doing the running here.
It's deliberate contamination of food, Ben. It's CI.
There are traces of an emetic and a laxative in Jesse Hammond's stomach contents.
I can't explain that.
You don't keep that sort of stuff at the shop or at home?
No. When the kids were very young, we had an emetic in case they ate something bad. But that was years ago.
So you can't explain Jesse Hammond's poisoning?
No, I can. And I resent the accusation.
No one is accusing you, sir.
Sounds like it. Look, I would be crazy to poison the food I sell. And I would never hurt a child. End of story.
Well, I believe him.
I never thought any different. The trans as suspects doesn't make sense. Now, on the other hand...
So you're thinking Ian Hammond?
Look, put it this way. Ian is not the sort of parent you want on the sidelines when his kid's playing a game.
As in shirt fronting the ref.
Look, he's not a bad bloke, but he gets emotional. I can see him doing something stupid in the spur of the moment.
Deliberately contaminating food is not stupid, it's criminal.
OK, then I can see him doing something criminal and then regretting it later.
So we have road rage, basketball rage, now we have pork roll rage.
Yes, Alex, can I help you?
Well, I was just talking to Jessie and she told me you guys think she was poisoned deliberately.
Yeah, sorry, mate, we really can't talk about that.
Well, she also said you're asking questions about Dad. Dad would never do a thing like that. It's the trans you should be talking to.
Well, we're talking to everyone. The trouble is a lot of people have emetics and laxatives in their bathroom cupboards. I mean, if we went through yours, we'd probably find some.
Please don't hassle Dad with this. He's got enough problems. Talk to the trans. Leave us alone.
Hey, why don't you come through?
Oh, I'm going to be late. Got to get dinner for Jessie.
Teenage boy offering to make his sister dinner? And that is suspicious.
Ian Hammond has got motive galore. Revenge for his own food poisoning, revenge for the trans getting the shop that he wanted, not to mention the fact that his son went very quiet when you told him how Jessie got poisoned.
So, but neither of them had access to the kitchen. Show me opportunity and I'll start listening.
Ian would never poison his daughter.
But he might poison one pork roll that his daughter got by accident.
Hey, Ben, you're on the tally.
The protest even received unexpected support from the long arm of the law.
Haven't eaten since yesterday, so cheers.
Then things took an ugly turn.
Yeah, go on, Ben.
Demonstrators collapsed after
Boss,
eating
you're missing the
several
best
of
bit.
pork rolls.
Turn it off, for God's sake, I can't watch it.
Here, here.
I'm just trying to relate to the community, boss.
You had to be filmed while you were doing it.
Tom,
Hello?
Falcon Prize for you.
Calm
These
down,
on in the
Alex.
background.
Thank you.
Now, calm down, son.
Yes, sir.
No. No, you stay there. I'll call you back.
Yes, I
I'm
did
with the
see
cops
it.
now. Tom.
Yeah, excuse me.
Tom, I've just been speaking to Alex, mate. He reckons someone's knocked him on the head and taken Jessie.
I'll have to call you back.
I came in here and found the window open and Jessie gone.
Right, so where did you run into this bloke who assaulted you?
Outside, I'd heard something and gone out to have a look. I was just coming around the corner of the house and whack.
You can't describe him at all?
It was dark and he got the jump on me.
Where was Jessie at this stage?
I don't know, in here I suppose. Reckon I interrupted in sliding open the window. I'm sorry, Dad, I know I was supposed to look after her.
That's all right, son. You did what you could. You got to find my little girl.
We'll do everything we can.
Have you checked if anything's missing?
Why, you think she ran away?
Well, she's a teenager. It's a possibility.
So she attacked Alex herself?
No way, it was definitely a guy that hit me. And Jessie didn't go willingly either. I heard her scream.
Someone poisons her, now this. What's going on?
Well, we'll need to treat this as a possible abduction. We'll need a list of Jessie's friends. Anyone who might have a motive.
Look, I'll get in my car and check bus, rail and highway.
She's only just checked out of the hospital and may still be suffering the effects of food
We
poisoning.
must have rung about 30 people. No one's got the slightest idea.
Well, all we hear is she's a nice, straightforward girl.
So no motive for anybody to kidnap her.
So has it got something to do with the food poisoning incident or not?
Well, the prime suspects for that would be the trans, but it wasn't them. They've been dining at the RSL with about 30 other people tonight.
I feel bad leaving things where they are.
Yeah, look, but there's nothing we can do about it tonight. I mean, let's leave it to the...
Hello?
I not only smell pizza, I see pizza. What? You could have told us what was going...
Hi.
There's plenty left.
What's going on?
I ran into Johnny and Jessie on the highway.
And?
I love Johnny, okay? And he loves me.
Are you out of your mind?
Well, it just seemed like the right thing to do.
Would it be wrong to kill him?
Well, I don't know about wrong, but it's probably against regulations.
Talk to them if you want. You won't get them to change their mind.
Alex is saying our king hit him? That's crap.
He tried to stop us leaving. He started it.
I don't get it. Why make up a story like that?
Better to be kidnapped and murdered than run up with a slope, I suppose.
Your dad's worried sick about you.
Johnny, how do you think your parents are feeling?
But if we tell them where we are, they'll just come and drag us back.
Then we'll just run away again.
Just call them and tell them you're okay. Is it that hard?
No, he'll hassle me. I'm too old for that.
We're both 17. We can leave home if we want to.
Do you really want to go that route?
Oh.
What, not finish your education and get jobs and support yourselves?
How old were you when you left home?
At least I finished high school.
Guys, part of being grown up is facing your problems, not running away from them.
But we're not running away. We're just...
Running away?
You're just like Dad. You're too old to understand.
Do you want to help us?
Look, our folks don't want us to be together, right? I've tried to talk to Mum and Dad about Jess, but they don't want to know. They want me with a nice Vietnamese girl once I finish university. So I just gave up.
And you've seen what Dad's like. He calls Johnny a slope. It's gross.
But you won't understand.
Hmm? What do you think I copped at school? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, mate. They cannot stay here.
So we turn them out, they try to hitchhike, and Jessie ends up raped or worse.
They go home.
Oh, you heard them. They won't.
Joe, this is blackmail.
Maybe if they stay one night, we have a talk to them and sort it out in the morning.
Well, what about the parents? Will the parents be worried sick?
Well, as a parent, that is just par for the course.
Oh, here we go. I'm surrounded by bleeding hearts. Okay, one night, and you tell Tom.
You're harbouring them somewhere and you haven't told their parents. You're promotion shy, aren't you? You want to get rid of those hooks once and for all.
Boss.
What is it? You don't want to take the responsibility? Don't want to make the hard decisions? What, wanting to be liked all the time? What is it? Look, I don't want to know where you're harbouring them. Just send them home.
But look, they're 17. They don't have to go, and they know that.
At least tell their parents that they're safe. So where is she?
Well, she's perfectly safe. She just needs some time to think.
She's my daughter. I've got a right to know where she is.
Well, actually, she's 17, mate. She can leave home whenever she wants to. For the moment, though, she's just staying with a friend.
What friends? I've just called all their friends. Or is it some bloke that I don't know anything
Ian,
about?
she's okay.
Johnny Tran. I've just spoken to his parents. They said he was out. Oh, I'm right, aren't I? She's with the Tran kid. I told her not to.
Ian, look, I've seen her, mate. She's okay.
You've seen her? And you didn't bring her home? Hang on, cut it out!
Cut it out! Go, Johnny! Hang on. Laxatives.
You normally carry around laxatives too, Alex?
It's a free country.
Mate, we know what Jessie got sick from. We know you were there. What was it, a practical joke?
If it was a joke, just tell us.
Now, this has created a huge waste of police time, so let's not waste any more, eh?
They're in the bathroom cupboard. When Ben arrived, I thought I'd better get rid of them.
So you're admitting to using them to contaminate the pork roll that made your sister sick?
No.
Then what are you saying?
I thought you guys would come in and find them in the cupboard and fit Dad up for it.
We have better ways to spend our time.
You were looking for someone to blame. I thought you'd blame him.
And why not? You do, right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's the real reason you tried to get rid of the laxatives. Because you thought your dad had fed them to Jessie.
With Mum walking out, we need him at home.
So I've got laxatives in my bathroom cabinet. Who hasn't? I tell you what, you bring me a photo of Acting Sergeant Stewart and I won't need 'em. Just looking at that smug face of his will do the trick.
You have a problem with taking Sergeant Stewart?
Only that he should be sitting where I'm sitting, answering one question. Where's Jessie? He knows. He won't tell me.
Well, on the subject of laxatives...
I'm a martyr to my lower colon. The doc says not enough veggies, too much meat.
Not to mention too much information.
He asked. It's a medical condition.
Nevertheless, we're going to have to search your house.
So what's he saying?
Oh, he's saying he wants to see your photo. No, sorry, doctor-patient confidentiality. He also wants his daughter.
Mount Thomas Police, Acting Sergeant Stewart speaking. Yes, Doctor.
What's the score with Ian?
It's a washout, boss. No more laxatives, no more medics.
Hang on a sec. The laxative that Alex had was herbal in nature, but the doctor's saying that the one on the pork roll was chemical.
So if there's nothing else,
we let him go. Unless, of course, you want to press the assault charge.
No.
You never know your luck. Might just stop him from running straight to his good friend, the inspector. Ah, I was just about to phone the inspector on your behalf.
Why? I'm comfortable with my actions.
Are you? It's not about your level of comfort, Ben.
Boss, we owe these kids a duty of care. Ian Hammond is out of control. Now he's guessed that they're together. If he finds them together, anything could happen.
Ian is not violent.
Well, you could have fooled me.
Not in that way. He's bullheaded, he'll get stuck in, but he won't do anything to harm his daughter.
And Johnny? What's going to happen when Ian finds him?
We've got to call Berg.
OK, can you and Jonesy get out to it?
Hang on. I'd prefer it if you handle it yourself, Acting Sergeant. That'll take your mind off other things.
If you say so.
I'll look after Ian Hammond, you attend to the Berg.
People who leave their back doors unlocked are just asking for it.
They're just old, Ben. I believe things have
It's
changed.
a complete waste of time and effort. Actually, can you take a detour past our place?
Is that such a good idea? It's where you're harbouring the kids, isn't it?
Did Joe tell you that?
No, but I'm not dumb either.
That transparent, am I?
I was thinking more too kind for your own good.
I'm not kind. But you're right, they are there. I just want to make sure that they're OK.
Next you'll be leaving your doors unlocked.
Johnny? Jesse?
Hey, if you're in there, kids, cover up. I'm coming in.
Where the hell... Did you see their backpacks?
No.
So Ian Hammond could have guessed he could have come straight over here and he could be holding them.
Yeah, well, they could have just decided to go home.
No way. No, they were dead set against that.
Well, when I was 17, I used to change my mind all the time. Let's check.
Hi.
Johnny, I was just looking for you at the house.
I was going to phone, but as soon as I got back, Dad had me working.
So you came home?
After you left this morning, Jesse and I, we started talking, you know, about what you said. Education, responsibility.
So Jessie's gone home too?
Yeah, I walked her to the end of the street.
Oh, happy endings.
Right. And tonight we want to get the families together and, you know, hopefully sort something out.
Good on you.
Oh, Ben, and thank you. For an old man, you're very cool.
Well, thank you. Anytime. Credit kids with a bit of intelligence and they won't let you down.
Ben, I'd make myself scarce if I were you. Ian Hammond's in with the boss and he's not happy.
Well, he's got nothing to be unhappy about.
I understand what you're saying, Ian. I'll have another word with Acting Sergeant Stewart about it.
Acting Sergeant Stewart, what have you done with my daughter?
Nothing. She's been returned home safe and sound.
Since when?
Since about an hour ago. Johnny Tran said that he walked her to the end of the street.
Johnny Tran says? Why haven't you got that little creep in a back cell pounding the truth out of it?
Ian, listen to me.
I'm not listening to you, mate.
Ian, that's enough,
You knew
mate.
where she was last night. You did nothing. Now she really is missing. I'm coming after you, pal. And by the time I've finished, you'll envy the dead.
I really thought that I was doing the right thing.
Giving shelter to runaway teenagers and keeping their parents in the dark as to their whereabouts.
I was concerned for their safety. I respect their views, and I thought I was just doing the best thing for all concerned.
People these days, you've got so many theories, there's no room left for common sense.
But they do have legal rights.
And not enough experience to know how to use them. Teenage runaways, you inform the families. Anything else is heartless and thoughtless.
I'm not heartless.
Which leaves thoughtless.
Boss.
Look, I'll discuss it with you in the pub when we've found her, but in the meantime, we've got a missing girl and precious few leads. Get on with it.
Yeah.
You'll still get your hooks.
But that's meant to cheer me up, is it, Joe?
I've seen you happier.
Look, I couldn't give a toss about the promotion at the moment. All I want is Jesse Hammond found, alive and well. OK, everyone, what have we got left in the locker?
What we could do there? Highways, the servos, the rail and bus stations again.
Try her friends again?
Ian Hammond's allegation Johnny might have harmed.
Well, you saw me with him an hour ago, unless the kid's a total psycho.
Yeah, right, he wasn't looking like someone who just killed his girlfriend.
But sometimes they are psychos and they just don't show it.
Yeah, I think we should try other leads first, though.
That was food safety. The laxative in emetic was found in the egg batter.
Egg butter?
It's like mayo. They use it to make pork rolls.
Means the contamination must have happened in the Tran's kitchen.
They didn't want Jessie going out with her son. Poisoning didn't work, so they disappear her.
I don't want to think that about the Trans.
It goes for most of our customers. Let's get the father in.
The egg butter was made fresh on the premises every day.
So, how do you think that it was contaminated?
Not by accident. It was done on purpose.
So are you saying that you or a member of your family purposely contaminated that egg butter?
No, we would never do such a thing.
You're not on good terms with Ian Hammond, are you?
No.
And by organising that demonstration, he deliberately tried to harm your business?
Yes.
Right. So it would be perfectly human for you to want to strike back, wouldn't it?
We are supposed to forgive our enemies. And believe me, I have had a lot of practice.
Are you saying that you'd be willing to forgive Ian Hammond for trying to destroy your business?
I'm no saint, but I'm working on it.
Francis, did you poison Jessie Hammond?
No.
Did you abduct her?
No. No.
But she was a target because she was trying to see your son.
Never. I know about violence. Fought as a soldier. Saw my country devastated. It's all burnt out of me. I'm the least violent man you ever meet.
But you didn't want Johnny seeing Jessie.
And I was wrong. I regret it now. I have seen how my son is suffering. He's out there now looking for her.
But somebody poisoned that roll.
And I take your word for that. But I don't know how it happened. No one had access to our kitchen.
Except your family.
Think back to yesterday when Jessie and her friends were having the eat-in.
Because of all those people Mr. Hammond brought. The ones who were shouting.
Right, and so to make up for that, the kids arranged their own demonstration.
Yes.
Okay. So for that, you made up some fresh pork rolls.
Yes, I did.
Mm-hmm. We now know that one of those rolls, one of the ones that Jessie Hammond had, was contaminated. Do you have any idea how that could have happened?
I made a mistake. I made the first roll. The egg butter. It looked strange. I tasted it. It had a strange taste.
Mm-hmm.
So I threw out that bowl of egg butter and made fresh.
And that first roll that you made?
I was in a hurry. I had to get things done in time. I think I may not have thrown it out.
So that first pork roll, the one with the strange tasting...
May have been given to Jessie Hammond. I'm so ashamed.
So, who else was in the shop after you made the first batch?
Me. Francis, customers.
And behind the counter?
No one comes behind the counter. Just us.
Monique, no, that's not true. When I was there earlier, there was somebody else behind the counter.
It is my job, and often not a very pleasant one, to go into those places run by those people and try to maintain standards of public safety.
Yes, Miss Harris, we do understand that.
Do you also understand that I had a legal right to be behind that counter?
Yes, we do.
Look, in these two bags obtained under warrant from your office are a laxative and an emetic. Do you agree that these are your property?
If I must.
Both of them are open and a small amount of their contents is missing.
Take your word for that.
Miss Harris?
It was only a matter of time before those little people poisoned someone. Just because we couldn't prove they did it to the basketball team doesn't mean it didn't happen.
But you couldn't, could you? You couldn't make a link between the food that poisoned the basketball team and the trans food.
Not that time, no.
So I put it to you that you then decided to see justice done.
And that yesterday you went back there with these two substances so that this time when the food poisoning occurred that you could make the link.
Now, we understand that. Been there, done that. You know someone's guilty, but you just don't have enough evidence to prove it.
Look, at the end of the day, Beth, we all want the same thing. We want justice to be done and you want good standards of hygiene.
And sometimes you just got to give it a push in the right direction, eh?
When I think that Ian Hammond's daughter got it, I feel sick to the stomach.
Collateral damage, nobody wants that.
They push you into these things. Filthy, dirty. You have to stop them. Am I right?
So, she cracked.
Yes, it was PJ alluding to how he fitted up suspects by planting evidence that did it.
And not in front of the younger, more impressionable members, please. I don't want them corrupted. So, Jessie Hammond, where's she?
Well, I'm out of suspects. Ian Hammond, Francis Tran, I don't think so.
Well, Ian Hammond liked Johnny Tran for it.
Yeah, that's because Ian is a racist maniac. Next.
No, hang on. If anyone knows where she is, it'll be her boyfriend.
You're right. Let's squeeze him.
He got a text message, tried to call back on his mobile, couldn't. So he used the shop phone to make a phone call. He was shouting at someone, saying they knew where Jesse was.
And then he just ran out.
He just went crazy. You've got to find him.
Has this phone been used since?
No.
Okay. We called Hammond's Wholesale Meat. Alex Hammond just answered the phone.
I told you to stay away from it! I told you!
Break it up, fellas. Come on. Up, get up.
All right, what's going on? What's going on?
He's got her here somewhere.
How do you know, Johnny?
Because if he wasn't guilty, he'll be blaming me for it. He's always telling me to keep away from Jess, but ever since she went missing, he hasn't shown his face.
All right. Do you know where Jesse is?
But he's just gonna stay away from
Come
her!
back, mate. Come on.
Jesse, where are you?
Alex? Okay,
I was just doing what I had to do, okay?
What was that?
Keep her from him, and she wouldn't listen. She just wouldn't listen.
Okay, so she came home when your father was asleep. You grabbed her and brought her back here,
To
right?
keep her away from him!
Come on, Wim.
I was just doing what was best, Jessie.
Keep him away from me.
Rotting meat.
Yeah, the sort that gives you salmonella.
The business is going bad. And then Mum left, and then Jessie started seeing Johnny Tran. And they're the enemy, right?
So you decided that you had to do something about it?
I had to try and break him up before Dad found out and chucked a spaz or something.
It was you who hit Johnny?
I warned him off. He wouldn't listen.
So then you went after Jessie instead?
I tried to stop him. He was too strong. Thought he owed me one, I guess.
You made up that story about the kidnapping?
Dad got wasted one night and started talking about topping himself. Over the bills and Mum and that. And Jessie and Johnny... It would have been the last straw.
So, why did you lock your sister in the cool room?
Because she came home talking about her and Johnny and true love and getting married. I was just trying to keep the family together.
Feel so ashamed. Dropped my bundle and my kids picked it up for me.
Your kids are 17 now, aren't they? Not really kids anymore.
You're saying I should let Jessie pick her own friends?
Oh, she's old enough to. Anyway, you might as well. You've got Buckley's chance of stopping her. Now, about the sausages.
What about them?
The cool room where Alex put Jessie smelled of rotting meat.
Compressor goes on the blink every now and then. Money isn't there to get it fixed.
You knew about this and you let Trans take the blame?
No. Alex brought me that batch of sausage meat, said nothing. Probably didn't want to worry me.
Well, we're going to have to inform food safety.
Understand. Oh, got some fences to mend. Apologise to the kids and try to get the wife back. Invite the Trans over for a sausage sizzle.
So, Acting Sergeant, made any hard decisions lately?
Well, I charged Alex Hammond with false imprisonment, if that's what you're asking.
Had to be done. No other charges?
Beth Harris, food safety will throw the book at Ian Hammond, apart from that.
Well, that's enough. But understand, I want a sergeant here who will make hard decisions.
Well, I believe that I can balance humanity with that.
The sergeant's job in this station is to be my 2IC. I don't recall asking for a human one. The 2IC's job is not to be the little friend of the whole world. The job is to make all the unpopular decisions so that the senior sergeant can make all the popular ones. Understood?
Understood.
You let your emotions get in the way.
Am I also to understand that you're withdrawing your support for my promotion?
Oh, that's better. Bit of aggro. What's the use? Better the devil I know, I suppose.
Would say we're friends again.
When we're on duty, I don't think we have friends, do we? But fortunately, we're off duty, so you can come and buy me a beer.
Okay. I'll catch you up.